welcome to SAXU Update. The name Kim Taehyung has once again proven that his status goes far beyond that of a typical K-pop idol. Without excessive promotion or manufactured controversy, a single appearance was enough to trigger a powerful chain reaction, ending in a result that has now become a familiar pattern in his career: sold out. This time, the wave of attention was sparked by his striking presence in an exclusive release. The moment the content went live, the response was immediate. Within hours, related products disappeared from shelves. Social media platforms were flooded with images, visual breakdowns, and in-depth discussions dissecting every detail, from his expressions and styling to the undeniable aura he carried. For fans, this was more than a sales achievement. It was a cultural moment. Industry observers note that the Taehyung sold out phenomenon has happened repeatedly, but this instance feels different. There is a stronger sense of maturity and authority. While he was once defined by a soft artistic mystique, the public now sees a figure who is calmer, more commanding, and fully in control. Many have begun referring to him as a king not because of a title, but because of the tangible impact he consistently delivers. What makes this moment even more compelling is that the influence does not stop at sales figures. Brand value surged, global search rankings spiked, and conversations continued across platforms for days after the release. From Asia to Europe, from longtime fans to fashion enthusiasts and pop culture observers, Taehyung's name once again became a focal point of global attention. Cultural analysts see this as a clear example of how modern celebrity power operates in the digital era. It is no longer just about popularity, but about consistency of influence. Taehyung does not appear often, yet every appearance feels deliberate and significant. This scarcity fuels anticipation, and when the moment arrives, the response is explosive. For ARMY, this achievement is a source of pride. For the entertainment industry as a whole, it sends a powerful message. Kim Taehyung has moved beyond the traditional boundaries of an idol. He now stands as a symbol of global appeal where artistry, identity, and market power converge in a single name. While many public figures rely on fleeting trends, Taehyung continues to demonstrate the opposite. He does not follow the wave follows him. And if this pattern continues, one thing remains certain: whenever his name appears, the world will once again prepare for the same result: sold out. Beyond the immediate headlines, this moment also invites a deeper reflection on Taehyung's evolving position within the global entertainment landscape. His influence now extends beyond music alone, intersecting fashion, art, and cultural identity. Each appearance feels less like a routine promotion and more like a carefully curated statement, one that resonates across industries and audiences alike. Fashion insiders, in particular, have taken note of how effortlessly Taehyung bridges artistry and commerce. Items associated with him do not merely sell. They gain symbolic value. What he wears represents, or even subtly hints at, quickly becomes a reference point, inspiring trends rather than following them. In an industry saturated with endorsements, this level of organic impact is rare and increasingly valuable. There is also a growing recognition of the strategic silence surrounding his public presence. In an age where visibility is often equated with relevance, Taehyung's selective appearances challenge that assumption. By choosing when and how to appear, he transforms absence into anticipation. This approach not only heightens demand but reinforces an image of confidence and self-assured artistry. Fans and critics alike have begun to view these moments as markers of a larger trajectory, rather than isolated successes. Each sold-out episode feels like part of a long-term narrative, one defined by patience, growth, and intention. It is a trajectory that suggests longevity, not just popularity, and legacy rather than momentary acclaim. As the global spotlight continues to shift and trends evolve at unprecedented speed, Taehyung's consistency stands out. His presence feels grounded, immune to volatility, and rooted in authenticity. This stability is precisely what allows his influence to endure, even during periods of relative quiet. In the end, The story is no longer simply about products selling out or numbers climbing higher. It is about how one artist continues to redefine what influence looks like in the modern era. Kim Taehyung's name now carries a meaning that transcends charts and shelves, a quiet assurance that when he appears, impact is inevitable. And as history has shown time and again, the world will be watching not to see if it happens, but to witness how quickly sold out appears once more. This growing perception has positioned Taehyung as more than a celebrity figure. He is increasingly viewed as a cultural touchstone. His influence reflects a shift in how audiences connect with public figures, not through constant exposure, but through moments that feel intentional and emotionally resonant. In this sense, his presence carries weight precisely because it is measured. Observers within the industry have also begun to note how Taehyung's appeal transcends demographic boundaries. His reach spans generations, geographies, and creative disciplines, allowing him to move fluidly between mainstream popularity and high cultural relevance. This rare balance enables him to remain accessible while maintaining an air of exclusivity. Equally significant is the way his image evolves without losing its core identity. Rather than reinventing himself to align with fleeting trends, Taehyung refines his artistic language over time. Each phase feels like a continuation rather than a departure, reinforcing a sense of authenticity that audiences instinctively trust. Behind the scenes, this consistency is often cited as a key factor in his enduring market power. Brands, creatives, and collaborators recognize that association with Taehyung brings more than visibility, it brings credibility. His involvement signals taste, restraint, and a long-term vision, qualities that resonate strongly in an oversaturated media environment. As conversations around influence become increasingly data-driven, Taehyung's impact offers a compelling counterpoint. Metrics may capture spikes in sales or searches, but they struggle to quantify anticipation, loyalty, and emotional connection. These intangible elements, however, are precisely what define his influence. Ultimately, Taehyung's continued ability to command attention without chasing it suggests a future shaped by sustainability rather than spectacle. His journey illustrates how influence, when built on intention and integrity, does not fade, it consolidates. And as the industry looks ahead, one reality grows clearer with each passing moment. Kim Taehyung's presence is not a trend, it is a constant, quietly reshaping the standards of global stardom. This distinction places Taehyung in a category that few contemporary artists manage to occupy. Rather than being defined by cycles of hype, his career reflects a steady accumulation of meaning and influence. Each milestone adds depth to his public image, reinforcing the sense that his trajectory is guided by purpose rather than momentum alone. Cultural commentators suggest that this measured rise has altered expectations within the entertainment industry itself. Success is no longer viewed solely through frequency of releases or constant visibility, but through the ability to sustain relevance while remaining selective. In this regard, Taehyung's approach is increasingly cited as a model for long-term cultural impact. There is also an emotional dimension to his influence that cannot be overlooked. Audiences respond not only to his work, but to the atmosphere he creates, one that feels introspective, grounded, and sincere. This emotional consistency fosters trust, allowing fans and observers alike to engage with his presence on a deeper level. At the same time, his global positioning continues to evolve. Taehyung moves effortlessly between regional and international spaces, maintaining cultural specificity while appealing to a worldwide audience. This duality strengthens his role as a bridge between local identity and global expression. As newer generations of artists enter an increasingly competitive landscape, Taehyung's career offers a quiet but powerful lesson. Longevity is built through coherence, not excess. By prioritizing artistic clarity and intentional visibility, he demonstrates that influence can grow stronger even in moments of restraint. Looking ahead, industry voices agree that his impact is far from reaching its peak. With every carefully chosen appearance and every thoughtfully crafted project, Taehyung continues to expand the meaning of modern stardom. In doing so, he leaves behind not just moments of success, but a framework for influence that is both enduring and transformative. This evolving framework has begun to shape how Taehyung is discussed not only as an artist, but as a long-term cultural force. His career is increasingly referenced in conversations about sustainability and fame, how influence can be preserved, refined, and expanded without sacrificing authenticity. In an era often dominated by speed and saturation, his steady rhythm stands in quiet contrast. What sets Taehyung apart is not a single defining moment, but the accumulation of moments that feel deliberate and aligned. Each appearance, collaboration, or creative decision reinforces a narrative of intention. Rather than overwhelming audiences, he invites them to observe, reflect, and anticipate. This dynamic transforms passive attention into lasting engagement. As the entertainment landscape continues to evolve, the significance of such an approach becomes clearer. Trends will rise and fall, algorithms will shift, and new names will emerge. But influence built on trust and emotional resonance proves far more resilient. Taehyung's journey illustrates how cultural relevance can deepen over time rather than diminish. In conclusion, the story of Kim Taehyung is no longer confined to metrics, rankings, or sold-out headlines, though those continue to follow him with remarkable consistency. It is the story of an artist who has redefined presence as power, restraint as strength, and intention as impact. And as the industry moves forward, one truth remains unmistakable. When Kim Taehyung steps into the spotlight, it is never merely an appearance, it is a moment. A moment that resonates, endures, and quietly reaffirms why his influence continues to stand apart in the modern era of global stardom.